still felt today by many black citizens here in our community. Tonight, Local 12 Investigates uncovered tapes as part of a 1970s oral history project done by a University of Cincinnati student named Vanessa Pearson.
Only on Local 12, you're about to hear from Donald Spencer, Cincinnati's first black real estate agent, as he talks discrimination and segregation. Now, in this story, Donald Spencer uses language of the time referencing black people that you might find offensive.
I was born in Cincinnati on Friday, March 5th, 1915.
These are the words of Donald A. Spencer, Cincinnati's first black real estate broker.
In a 3-room flat, number 4 at 3003 Kerper Avenue.
Recalling his life in the Queen City across 6 decades.
Where did you attend school, Mr. Spencer?
And I attended a racially integrated Cincinnati elementary school where black children were really not expected to excel. Negro children never had a white partner if they lined up in twos. If there wasn't another black child, he stood by himself.
Discrimination impacted all aspects of his childhood and continued into high school.
When I went to Withrow High School as a freshman, black boys could swim only on the last bell on Friday, just before the school pool was cleaned for the next week.
By age 15, Donald Spencer became the first black employee to work for a chain store in Cincinnati at the A&P grocery stores.
But this was during the Depression, and as business declined, the company threatened to lay me off. Then there was a young man by the name of Ted Berry, just out of law school and president of the NAACP. And when layoff was threatened, I'd call Ted and he would write a letter about the importance of having Negro employees, and while others were let off, I was always retained.
While attending the University of Cincinnati, Spencer founded Quadres, an organization to promote equal opportunities for black students. And he chartered the university's chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi, a predominantly black fraternity. At UC, he also met his wife, Marion, who became a Cincinnati civil rights icon.
Edward, our second son, was born shortly after we moved into our first real estate purchase in the spring of 1944. 30 years later, Burdett is still a prestige street, denying the contention that when black people move on into a neighborhood, it always goes down.
He became a real estate agent, and his first office was at 411 West 5th Street.
The building was demolished in 1945, along with the rest of the buildings in that section, to make way for Interstate Highway I-75.
That would not be his last experience with government decisions affecting Cincinnati's black citizens.
Why is there such thing as white flight to the suburbs?
It's always been assumed that blacks were not desirable in neighborhoods. That maybe the white people felt that black people were not as good, and that when they moved into the neighborhood, they lost prestige.
And what you were listening to was an edited version of more than 100 minutes of Donald Spencer's oral history. Local 12 helped the university digitize. We did so because we think it's a lost history sitting in a box that needed to be heard. He goes on to discuss real estate issues for blacks in the city. We'll have more for you in that story next week. And you can learn more about Donald and Marion Spencer's impact on Cincinnati at cincinnatipoverty.com.